Come sit, child. I have a story your heart has been waiting for.
I felt the room tilt slightly as I read. Emily waited silently, twisting her fingers together. The letter continued. When you walked away from me all those years ago, I accepted it. You had a husband, children, a life you chose. I never blamed you. But I want you to know, what happened between us didn't end the way you thought. My pulse hammered in my ears. You believed I was gone, that I left town. But the truth is I stayed, hidden, quiet, respectful of the boundaries you begged me to keep. I never wanted to ruin your marriage. I never wanted to destroy what you built. My hands tightened around the letter. He was right. I had begged him to disappear. I had made him promise. I had sobbed into his shirt the night I told him it had to end, that I loved another man, that I chose my husband, that our mistake had to remain only ours. I thought he left town the next morning. I thought I'd never see nor hear from him again. But the letter wasn't done. And when she was born, I knew I had to leave. My heart stopped. My entire body stiffened. She was born. Emily. I looked up slowly, and she was watching me with wide, fragile eyes. A trembling breath left my lips. You're saying he knew? She nodded weakly. He knew. He told me when I turned 18. But he didn't tell me your name until he knew he was dying. My chest tightened with sharp, painful pressure. Your mother, does she know? She shook her head. She passed away when I was 5. I grew up believing my father had no one. No family. No relatives. No roots. And before he died, he told me I had someone left in this world. Someone who once cared for him. My gaze dropped to the will lying on the coffee table. The same will I rewrote the year Emily was born. The year everything fell apart. The year I made a choice that nearly ruined my life. Emily noticed the papers. Is that? Her voice faded into a whisper. I exhaled shakily. It's a will I wrote many years ago. A will I never intended to be found again. Silence settled like dust. She looked down at her hands. I'm sorry if coming here caused you pain. I don't have anyone left. And I thought maybe. Her voice broke. Maybe you could tell me who I am. A tear slipped down her cheek. And with that single sentence, something inside my chest cracked open. I saw her, not as the daughter of the man I once loved, not as the evidence of a mistake, not as a symbol of the worst year of my marriage. I saw her as a lonely young woman who had wandered through life without a mother, without siblings, without extended family, without anyone to tell her where she came from or who she belonged to. I saw a child who had never been claimed. My eyes softened. Emily, you deserve the truth. She looked up slowly, hope flickering like a dying flame. But before I could speak, a sudden sharp knock hit the front door. Not a polite tap. A heavy, urgent pounding. I flinched. Emily stiffened. The knock came again. I stood, my old bones aching. Stay here. I walked toward the door, my heartbeat echoing in my ears. My hand hovered over the doorknob. I opened it and froze. Standing on my porch was my son, my eldest. His face flushed, his breathing hard, his jaw clenched. Mom, he said sharply, pushing past me into the house. We need to talk. His eyes landed on Emily. He stared. She stared back. He looked between us slowly. What? He said, voice tight. Is going on here? The will was on the table. The letter was in my hand. Emily's resemblance, to me, to him, to our entire bloodline, suddenly burned under the light. My son's face twisted. Mom, he whispered. Who is she? My stomach churned. He stepped closer. Is she family? The air thickened. Heavy. Breathless. Emily's voice cracked. I didn't know anyone was coming. He turned to her, eyes narrowing. I heard you were here. My blood ran cold. He looked back at me. Someone called me. Someone told me a young woman came to the house. Said she looked like Dad. My breath stilled. He pointed at the will. And then I find this. Hidden. Behind the attic trunk. He had found the will. Not by accident. Not by fate. Someone told him. Someone knew. The room felt like it was collapsing inward. Emily looked terrified. My son's voice broke. Mom, tell me who she is. My chest lifted and fell. He deserved the truth. She deserved the truth. But once spoken, the truth would tear through my family like a storm. Still, I straightened my back, small, brittle, but certain. She is, I began. But I didn't get to finish, because the front door swung open again, and the person who stepped inside should not have known any of this, should not have been here, should not have been alive. It was someone I had not seen in years, someone who knew the entire story, someone I thought I had buried in the past for good. His voice cut through the room like a blade. Lydia, stop. The world seemed to tilt, because standing in front of me was my husband, the man I thought never knew, the man I thought I had deceived, the man whose heart I believed I had protected with lies. And he was staring at Emily, like he already knew exactly who she was. My breath vanished. For a heartbeat, I couldn't tell if the room had grown colder, or if my blood had simply turned to ice. My husband, my Charles, stood there in the doorway, shoulders heavier, eyes dimmer, but unmistakably alive, present and aware. Emily froze. My son looked between us, all like the floor had disappeared from beneath him. But my husband, he didn't look confused. He looked prepared. Charles, I whispered, voice trembling. You, how long were you? He lifted a hand, stopping me mid-sentence. Long enough. The tone, the knowing in his eyes, the way he glanced at Emily, then at the letter in my hand. He knew. He had known for a very, very long time. He stepped into the living room and closed the door behind him with a soft click that felt louder than thunder. My son's voice cracked. Dad, what's going on? Why is she here? Why was Mom hiding a will? But Charles didn't look at him. His eyes stayed fixed on me, searching my face the way he used to when we were young, careful, tender, afraid of the answer he already sensed. And then he looked at Emily. You look like him, he said quietly. Emily's breath hitched. You know who I am? He nodded once. Slowly, painfully. My son stepped forward between him and Emily. Someone better start explaining before I lose my mind. Charles ignored him and took another step toward Emily. His voice softened, not angry, not cold, but almost relieved. I've been waiting for the day you would walk through that door. My knees went weak. I had to hold on to the arm of the sofa. Charles, I whispered, how long have you known? He hesitated, then looked right into my soul. Since the day I found the letter you never meant for me to see. My heart collapsed inside my chest. The letter. Oh God, that letter. Decades ago, in the middle of the worst storm of my life, I had written a confession to Samuel, a goodbye, an apology, and a truth I never sent. I thought I had burned it. I thought it was gone. But one night, years later, my husband cleaned the attic, and he found it. He kept his gaze on me. I read every word, Lydia. I felt Emily watching me. I felt my son's breath shorten. Charles stepped closer, his voice trembling with old wounds. I knew you loved him once. I knew what happened. I knew who she could be. A faint, painful smile tugged at his lips. And I forgave you before you ever asked. My son stared at him, stunned. Dad, what are you talking about? Charles finally turned to him. Your mother made a mistake before you were born. A mistake she thought would destroy us. But I chose our family. I chose her. And I buried the truth because it wasn't my place to unearth a wound she spent her whole life trying to heal. My legs nearly gave out. Charles, you should have told me, I whispered. He shook his head. And add more pain to yours? No. His voice softened. I saw how hard you worked to rebuild our life. I saw how much guilt you carried even when I never spoke a word. That was punishment enough. Tears slipped down my cheeks. Emily was trembling now. So you both knew? All this time? No, my voice cracked as I reached toward her. He knew part of it. I knew the rest. And Samuel, he carried his own part in silence. A breath shook through me. But you, Emily, you never should have had to carry anything alone. She covered her face with shaking hands, her voice breaking into sobs. I thought I didn't belong anywhere. My son turned to me, his voice strained. Mom, did you love this man? I closed my eyes. Yes, I whispered. I loved him once. Before I loved your father the way I should have. Before we built this family. Before I learned what loyalty actually meant. My husband stepped beside me, placing his warm, steadying hand on my shoulder. She chose me, he said firmly. She chose us. My son looked at Emily, then at me. Then what does that make her? The room stilled.
Thank you for watching and listening to my stories.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Voice of Grandma.